or anything I want.
Oh, that's fair enough. All right then, so here I am again. It's Greyman here again. I'm chatting with Cursor Doctor, one of the singers from Cannibal Accident. And my favourite first question every time is what is in the name? Where did the name Cannibal Accident from? He comes up with all different kind of stories of what could be the story of Cannibal Accident. I imagine someone biting their tongue and going, "Oh, that tastes nice," and accidentally becoming a cannibal. I don't know. What is Cannibal Accident?
It's we have actually decided not to reveal
It's a secret.
the history of the name, and we like to hear the different theories and interpretations of people. What could it be? Because
Right.
the only thing I know that it was not invented in a really clear state of mind.
Okay, so the story's probably changed a bit over the years as well. So the band's been going since 2007. You wasn't actually there for the inception. Do you know how did that band get together in the first place?
Sorry.
So the band's been around since 2007, but
Yeah.
you sort of joined about 2011. But how did the band get together in the first place? Do you know?
Yeah, it was our guitarist Petri and the drummer Lennu, who have been longtime friends since the end of 80s and played in several bands together before. Also, they were just listening to some old Carcass, Napalm Death, SOD, stuff like that, and drinking beer and going to bar, and the basic story how dozens of bands get started, and somehow this band managed to continue also after that slight drunken idea. So it became reality.
Right. There's had a few lineup changes though over the years, I take it, because this guitarist vocalist is the only member from originally there. When did you come to join, and how did that happen?
It's basically happened that firstly the band was supposed to be only a studio project, Petri and Lennu doing all the songs and having guest vocalists in each studio session. So the first album, self-financed album, was recorded by those two guys together, and they just gathered friends like me and 6-7 other guys who were vocalists in other bands. We just got together in a studio one weekend and got wasted and recorded some growls and shouting and shrieks and screams.
And what about your name, Kerwa Doctor? I take it that's a pseudonym. What is a Kerwa Doctor?
Well, it's a Polish swear word.
Okay.
Like fuck or like damn it, but it's for a Finnish ear, the name sounds that word sounds like a name, like a person's name.
Okay.
So it was some idea.
Play on words.
Yeah. When I joined the band properly, after they wanted to make a steady lineup, then they chose some stage names for us, and I came up with this idea. I don't know where, from the back of my butt, maybe.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of live footage of you guys on your channel. You did some festival and fucking crazy stage show. Who puts the stage show together? Who decides what you're going to do on stage, or does it just happen?
We don't plan that so much because we have the basic elements always, like some lots of blood and Heikki, the other vocalist, being almost naked, and
I saw strap-ons and blow-up dolls. I think I saw in the video.
Yeah, that was like one of thing at that time when our friends just came up with the idea that they want to build built this mannequin doll for us and want to destroy it and desecrate and fuck it and whatever. It's really funny because the two guys, they're like bodybuilders and weightlifters, so they were like doing really. they put the doll in a really bad shape.
It was like a cannibal orgy or something. It was disgusting and beautiful at the same time. It was just like, oh wow.
But it's basically like anything goes as far as it's somehow border legal.
Yeah. Let's talk about the music style of Cannibal Accident. How would you say your music style is? Just for people who don't know you are coming in now. What death metal, grindcore? What kind of bands do you sound like? You think?
We started like really like old school grindcore with some like most parts from crossover bands like SOD or Repulsion or stuff like that. But eventually, especially in the latest album, we have gotten more like death metal influences here and there. It's not like pure old school death metal because there are always those grindcore and D-beat hardcore punk crossover influences in every song basically. But I would say that the main influences when starting the band were like old grindcore death metal bands, like I said, Napalm Death, Carcass, Repulsion, and mixed with some crossover mosh part and catchy type of whatever you can call it.
Anything heavy and catchy, so kind of catchy and brutal.
Nowadays there's one, especially with our bass player who made half of the song for the half of the songs for the new album. He's very much influenced and he listens a lot like more the brutal death metal and the death metal of nowadays like I don't know, like anal Natrak, cattle decapitation, or stuff like that. So, and of course, all old stuff like Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Immolation stuff, and so some of the influence is probably coming also from that direction, and it's mixing perfectly in our current style, I think.
Yeah, you bung it all into a cannibal cooking pot and like stir it around, and then that kind of thing.
all the band logos there and
yeah. What about lyric wise? Is it all cannibals and serial killers?
Sorry.
The lyric wise, is it all cannibals and serial killers?
Yeah, it started like mostly it had to be something to do with cannibalism, eating people and killing them in different ways, like and also it's also expanded to other perversities and big things that people actually have done to each other. There are some like references to real events and to real murders and serial killers and so. But like 90% of the lyrics are like consisting of like the dark black humor side of things.
Yeah,
and just somehow I just need to write something that it's so disgusting that I'm even disgusted myself and almost puking. If I reach that level on the writing, then it's a good sign that it must be released.
It means you've done your job quickly. So do you write most of the lyrics then, or is it like a joint thing with the rest of the band?
Yeah, mostly. Our bass player writes some lyrics also, and also Petri, the guitar player. And on the new album, the guest vocalist wrote a couple of songs.
Right.
And the previous albums also we have given like the free hands to some guest vocalists to write their own band if we have had the song ready for them. So, and that has happened sometimes, and so there have been lots of guys doing lyrics for the previous albums also. But
So
mostly it's done by me and going through me.
right. So you joined about 2011, and so 2012. You on the Omnivorous would have been the first one you was on, I'm guessing. Omnivorous. How would you say the start? It's been like 9 years, or nearly 10 years between Omnivorous, and the most recent one, Necro Cluster. How would you say the band has sort of developed in that time? Have you changed a great lot in that period, or pretty much just doing the same kind of style?
Well, like I said, we have now more like obvious influence from death metal and like other extreme metal styles, other than only grindcore and hardcore and stuff like that. But and of course the lineup changes have meant some changes also in the songwriting, especially because our bass player now also writes some songs, and also our drummer, who's been with us for a couple of years, he also puts in some of his ideas and song arrangements and stuff like that. So it's not only on the responsibility of our guitarist who basically did all the music before. So it's more so he can also concentrate on other things and not having all the pressure of of creating new songs for the band.
Yeah, it's just more collaboration with the new lineup, most current lineup. Yeah, more people are joining in the songwriting process, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And I think it's a good thing. It makes the songs a bit more diverse, but not in a way that we are like taking influences from all kind of stuff and making it too diverse. Because I don't like, I like the that the songs and the style has a certain certain type of approach, and not just picking up some fucking samba music influence because we can do that, but it sounds like it doesn't belong to the song. So it's the most important is the song structures and arrangements to make the songs interesting and kind of memorable, and especially when thinking about when we are going to play it live. So it's the most important thing is anyway for this band is to perform live, and that's
right.
We want the songs to work on a live situation. It's not something that you will listen in darkness, in silence, at home alone, and getting getting that great emotions and feelings and atmosphere. It's like a thing that you should enjoy with the company of other drunken.
So it's basically songs that when you write songs that when you perform them live, you're just going to destroy, and everyone can mosh and get pissed to it, and so it's more like a community getting fucked up kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where the music is at its best in most styles of music. Of course, there are stuff more like atmospheric metal or other music that is great to listen by yourself,
yeah,
by the candlelight or whatever, or by your house burning, but and getting other kind of feelings from that. But this kind of music is to be enjoyed in
drunkenness and in a venue, like live.
Yeah.
So you obviously live is very important to you, and obviously you no fucking chance of doing any live over the last year. But how do you have you toured extensively? Have you managed to get out live a lot previous to Corona?
Yeah, we have done quite not so. I don't know how many gigs we have played so far. Maybe like 60, 70 altogether. But actually, last year we managed to play two shows in October when we had the COVID situation in Finland was a bit more easier, and it was possible to arrange smaller events. So, but
So
it was not, but we could notice immediately that there was a lot less people than normally. People just didn't want to go to public gatherings, but there were nice experiences, and in the familiar clubs we have played before, where everything works fine, and the atmosphere was almost like in the normal gig, but a bit more people, of course, would have been great. But before that, we have played in once in a while when it's been possible, when it's been reasonable to play.
Well, prior to like the corona, I mean, did you just play in Finland, or have you managed to play around some other parts of Europe?
Yeah, we have played in. Did a small tour of like 8 or 9 shows, which was in, I think, 4 years ago. It was during one summer, and we played in Poland, Czech Republic, Slovak Republic. There something. Yeah.
How were the gigs over there?
8 or 9 altogether.
Yeah. How were they? How were the crowds go crazy in them places?
Yeah, the few shows were really crazy, but there was some serious problems in a couple of shows. There was basically no promotion at all. When we were like the only band there, no local support or anything. Just like I don't know how they what the hell they were thinking to arrange, and there were like maybe 5-10 people.
Man.
And one show even got cancelled because there was no PA system in the bar, and they were told that we are bringing our own.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they had like karaoke stuff, and you were like, okay, we can use your karaoke stuff, but they will get broken when we hit the pedal, you know.
Yeah, that's some bad communication going on there. Then, if that was the organization.
But the few shows were really really cool and memorable there.
Yeah, there's quite a few of you in the band. Is it like 2 singers plus the rest of the lineup? So about
5 guys. We have always been two vocalists, 2 main vocalists.
Yeah, so you fill the stage up pretty well.
Yeah, it's like me and the other vocalist. We have the most responsibility of like making or getting the audience involved and somehow attracted maybe. And the others are doing their job by playing and
you
know.
So you've like already got the corona and that. You've not been quiet. You've actually managed to get a new album out, but it's quite a while. It's been in the works, hasn't it? It's Necro Cluster. You want to tell us, where it was recorded? When it's available, that kind of stuff. I mean, there is a link down below if anyone wants to go and buy it. There is a link down below that takes you to my blog. It's got all the Cannibal Accident links in there where you can buy it and stuff. If you just want to tell us in your own words, like everything about Necro Cluster, what is in the name? What's that? What is a Necro Cluster?
First of all, the name was like I don't remember who came up with the name, but the meaning is like the meaning is that it refers to the globe, to Earth,
right?
The cluster, which is going necro, dying.
Right, our dying world, basically.
Yeah, that's the kind of explanation.
Right.
And the cover art, which was painted by our good friend, that we told the idea about the behind the name, and he painted this great cover art for us based on that. And actually, the album was recorded already back in 2019 in the summer.
Wow, that's a long time for it to actually come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's like, but there was some delays to get it mixed and mastered properly, and I think the final mix was done like in the end of 2019 or in the beginning of 2020, and then we started to search for labels to
Right.
release that because we didn't have any contract, and the previous label that released the albums isn't working anymore.
No.
It was a great collaboration with the label. Only one guy, but it was great stuff. But he I think he's not continuing that label anymore. So like maybe exactly like 1 year ago, we started to send all the like a promotional kit to all different dozens of labels, and we got quite a lot of answers, but of course many of them were like, yeah, they can release, but you have to pay everything on your own, and you can get 50 CDs, but you have to pay for them, and it was like, okay, thank you, but we have already paid for the studio, and and yeah, but in the end, and we were getting like really frustrated after a few months because the offers were from rather good labels, considering their previous releases, and that we would fit like very well. There was like some, I don't mention the names, but they had like a really good roster of death and grind and gore grind and stuff like that. And but then again, it makes no sense for us to pay even more to get our stuff released because we can do it on our own here in Finland anyway.
Yeah.
And with the basically the same results, I think.
Yeah,
but,
sometimes in the underground, labels like they're not that great, are they? You end up kind of paying most of it yourself, and just
but I understand that nowadays it's hard to sell physical albums, and they have to think about their own economy a lot. So,
yeah,
but in the end, the Italian label Time to Kill Records replied to our inquiry, and we started to negotiate about the deal. First, their offer was also the similar, like like the others, but I just used some persuasion or blackmailing them. I know where you live. It was like a usual negotiation and about the contract, and that this was sometimes like last summer or something, and then they already told that it's most likely not coming out during 2020 because they have already scheduled lots of other releases. So maybe like that's not a problem. We have more time to promote and prepare and so on. So that's how it came. It's like it was like a 18 months process basically.
Yeah, it's a long old process
from the recording to the actual release, and of course before that, like 2-3 years when the songs were done slowly one by one.
I mean, have you written a whole load of like new material for the next album? Like that kind of wait, you must have kind of nothing to do but twiddle your fingers, like waiting for it to come out.
Yeah, actually, our bass player and a guitar player, they have already have like 3, 4, 5 songs. I don't know. They have played the raw versions of them and sent the songs to be listened. But I think there is not there are no arrangements or anything done for any new songs. They are slowly doing that, and of course we have a lot of time to do that because there are no shows.
Yeah,
and when we go to rehearsing, we just basically pick up some old songs we haven't played before, and try to memorize them, and we don't have to think about like normally when we are going to rehearsal, we are practicing for the next show most likely to make the playing and tight and vigorous, but
there's nothing kind of, if there's no shows going on, there's nothing to look forward to, nothing to actually, unless you're writing for a new album or doing something creative. I suppose it's a bit. I mean, you're lucky you're able to get together though, because a lot of bands I've spoken to lately haven't even been able to get in the same recording room for months.
Yeah, but it's
rehearsal room.
We don't have any person in the band who is so paranoid about this situation.
Right. So you just. I mean, what are the guidelines there? Are you allowed to mingle, or are you not? Because I know here in the UK we're not allowed to blinking share in like certain bubbles. Like, what are the rules there?
Yeah, basically, nobody can stop us going out or going to a rehearsal place. So it's
right.
It's not a military on the street to arrest you if you go out.
No.
Not yet. Maybe it would be good for a couple of weeks to have the total lockdown and not everybody arrested in their homes. But
it's not quite that bad yet.
But these are all like such suggestions not to gather with more than 10 persons or whatever. That rule is now, but it's not. Well, it's nothing that you could get fined or arrested.
No. What's the scene like in Finland normally? You're supposed to have one of the best, like, most active scenes going in Finland.
Yeah, we have lots of metal bands here, and especially for the last couple of years, there have been quite many new and talented young guys playing like old school death metal, like grinding or like extreme metal, which is really nice to see. The guys who've been like born in the end of 90s or even like during this century, they're like doing the same stuff that we grow up listening to.
Yeah, there's no sign of it going anywhere. Heavy metal is here to stay. Like death metal is all here to stay. It's not disappearing anytime soon.
And the legacy is going on.
Yeah, that's cool. So let's talk more about the album then. So it's actually out now, isn't it? It's actually just been released. What are you doing for promotion for it?
Sorry.
What promotion are you doing for it? You got it like.
We have done a couple of interviews, and the reviews are coming now. Now started to come now. I don't know how many, but we have seen this week and last week we have seen lots of reviews from that.
Positive reviews?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, some of them are like in the vein of describing that they are not inventing the wheel again, but of course we are not. We are like this is more like going back to Stone Age in a way.
Yeah, it's more of the good stuff though. Still, that's all that matters. As long as you're playing the good stuff, that's all. You can play. I never get tired of listening to bands who are doing the basics. The heavy stuff. You don't need them. I mean, a lot of these innovative bands can be fucking boring anyway. I'd much prefer just like a band that are playing a style that I already like.
Yeah.
So, what about the songs on this one? You got a favorite song on the new album?
There are like I think 17 songs on the album, and we also recorded 4 other songs, which were released last autumn on a separate EP because the total length of the whole songs we recorded in the studio was more than 30 minutes, and we have this strict inner code that the album cannot be longer than 30 minutes. So we had to release the 4 songs on the on the EP. So maybe some great one, like very different song is from on the EP. It's the title song called Shotgun Selfie.
Yeah.
It's the first time we have like a real like heavy metal accept type of riff.
Right.
It sounds like fucking stupid, but in our concept, but it actually works in that song. It's like starting with that galloping
Right.
Teutonic heavy metal, and then burst into grindcore, and, that's some song that I really like really like to try to play live as soon as it's
Right.
possible,
Yeah.
because that will probably drop some jaws on the audience, because they're not maybe expecting us to play some like fucking German heavy metal.
Cool. So you wrote most of the lyrics you were saying before, and you were saying at one point like you know it's a good song if you've written something that absolutely disgusts you. So what is your favourite lyric or your most disgusting lyric that you know really sort of makes you think I'm fucking proud of writing that one?
I don't know. It's a quite well, being proud of being disgusting is a well, I mean that's something that I try to find always some like morbid and extreme stuff that nobody had written about before in a way. So it's like there is a one song which is written in Finnish, and especially when it's written in Finnish, it sounds to my ears and the Finnish ears, it sounds more brutal than in English, because it's just how it goes.
Right.
So it was on the previous album, the last song, and it's the story of it's like just a story of a guy who wakes up and his face is stitched up to a ass.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, to
But
another
like,
person's ass. Yeah,
right.
and then he starts to notice that there is something coming out of the ass,
Oh.
and then then he realizes that the ass belongs to his father,
Oh.
and in the end, the final realization is that the father is dead.
Oh.
So
Right. Okay.
that's like I don't know. That's something that I really felt like sick in stomach when writing it.
Yeah.
But then the idea just kept coming and developing into that final climax. So I had to do it, and especially in Finnish, because it's sounded so disgusting.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that like are there any songs like like if your family or your parents or something say to you, what's this song about? And do you just say, oh, best not to say, or do you just like, or they just leave you to it?
I don't think they have ever written those lyrics, and it doesn't matter so much.
Fair enough. Oh shit! Do you like read up on serial killers? Like, is it something that's interesting to you? Like, a lot of people in like heavy metal, that kind of dark side of life, can be quite an interesting sort of topic to read about. I mean,
Yeah.
have you got any Finnish cannibals like from history and from the crime
Well,
sagas of Finland?
not so much, but there was this guy in the 90s, and this incident where I think it's two guys and one girl who killed one guy and dismembered him, and I think they ate like part of his body, and they were like mutilating him with scissors before killed him.
Oh my god!
It was I think it's like 95, 96 something, and that became quite notorious because they were like say that they were listening to black metal and death metal and stuff like that at the same time.
Right,
And
right.
but just to be honest, when reading more about the case back then and afterwards, it just sounded like a usual drunken person's like going crazy or like fighting like a drunken fight going over the top, and then they just in their mind somehow reasoned that it would be easier to cut the guy in pieces, so it's easier to hide him or something.
Right. That's pretty crazy. Like you can, like cannibalism, you kind of think it's like one person on their own who's got like a fucking bit of a mental problem and they think they want to eat people. But it's weird to have like 3 people doing it at the same time. That's a bit crazy.
Yeah. And they were like the guys were like maximum 20 years or something, and the girl was like 16 or 17. It was like, and they all went to prison, and they actually all have been released. But the girl, actually, the girl who was involved in this, when he was released, he got into another similar or some like violent, or I don't know if anybody got killed, but she was imprisoned again soon after.
Right. Okay. Yeah, like, sounds like the best place for her.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't think she's not quite capable of being in this society.
No, probably best to keep her locked up for everybody else's safety. What about any other particularly memorable songs on the new album? Let's talk about the song that I'm on. Let's talk about the song that I'm on, because that's got like a bit of the meanest fish to swim with. You had a contest. I just want to know from my how many people entered that contest, because I won and I got to be on the album. I'm thinking to myself, I was probably the only one that like entered or something like that.
Well,
and, like,
actually, like I think something like 10 or 12.
No, that's not too bad then. So I was the best out of 12.
and some of them were really good also, but I think, but it was really important that that you could hear that the guy who is speaking is speaking English as his native tongue. It's his native language. So
right.
Some of our Finnish friends did quite a good job, but trying to sound like American redneck or something.
Yeah. I think I did one take where I was trying to sound like that, but yeah, I think I did a few takes, but yeah.
It's also like a bit different song for us also, because the first part it is quite recognizable Cannibal Accident stuff, like D-beat and grind blast beats, but the end, the ending where your speech is also, and there's this, it's something that we haven't also done in any other songs before, or similar like,
yeah,
we have this 1 minute of blast beating and grinding, and then the like the song is like slowing down, and like it's kind of outro for the song in a,
yeah, it kind of fades out, but it chills out a little bit, kind of thing. Yeah,
and there is also the guitar solo or lead on the background, which is played by our friend also. It's like maybe the 3rd or 4th guitar solo in any Cannibal Accident song ever. We don't have those so much.
those are for wimps and posers, guitar solos, surely.
Yeah.
So talking about, so that's about Albert Fish, like he's one of the sickest fuckers who ever lived, by the sounds of what I've read about him. But if such a thing is possible, do you have a favourite cannibal?
Well, I think that one quite interesting is that it is quite a new case, is that I think it was a Japanese guy who was looking for was looking in the internet for a person that wants to die and wants to be eaten by him. And he
Right.
actually managed to get some I think it was German guy or whatever, but that who came to visit him, and then this in the end it actually happened. The Japanese guy killed the other one and ate his flesh, but when I read about it, it was also I think he was kind of like manipulating the guy to come to visit his house or something, and so but the thing that how it started, like he was like searching for a person who wants to be eaten in the internet. So that's like who would think about that? It's like
there's some crazy shit that goes on out there. It's weird. Like I know there's a whole like category of like porn called vor, isn't there? Where they talk about like people wanting to be eaten or being eaten, and just like. But yeah, definitely not what my brain goes when I'm thinking of something to titillate me. Being eaten or eating somebody else is not first in my mind.
Then you get recycled and your flesh is being used for some good. Hey, somebody's asking something in the chat.
Do you want to answer that one? We got a question. What's the first album you remember listening to and loving?
Well, that's quite easy in a sense, because the first full album was Port Royal by a German heavy metal band called Running Wild. It was I remember it clearly. It was the first full album from any band. I remember I was like 11 or 12 at the time. Before I had heard some random metal songs from Metallica, Slayer, whatever. What was that time, Halloween and stuff like that. But that was the first album, because my friend won it from a contest of the local radio show.
Right.
So it not the local, but it was like a Finnish metal radio show, and he won the album, and I went to his home and we listened to it, and I was like, what the fuck, it's something like I have never heard before. Like it was not the most famous metal bands, and they are legends now, but back then they were like the second class metal.
Yeah.
After Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and big bands like that.
Yeah.
And we were like, nobody knows this band. It's fucking awesome. We have to get more. And then we started to go to libraries and started to and actually found some similar stuff and borrowed them home, and of course illegally copied them to myself on tapes. And
yeah. So if that was your first band, how comes you're not like in a pirate metal band now? Surely pirate metal rather than cannibal metal should be your thing.
Yeah, and I also liked the team. I remember that when they were calling the pirate metal, and all the themes that it's because it was the pirates were like the outlaws on the old world, and it somehow it also felt. I remember it was as a teenager, I felt also kind of like a kind of outsider, because I liked music that nobody else liked. I didn't go to any fucking discos or after when I got 18, not to nightclubs or whatever. Just and it's and I could relate to that, and like back then when there were lots of less opportunities to listen to new bands, all the new stuff was like somehow it was like a miracle. How is that possible that they're doing this kind of music in Costa Rica or whatever? When I started to do some tape trading and got letters and tapes around the world from different other guys, and it was like it was like a culture and subculture actually, and the underground metal and demos and stuff like that. It's
Do you miss
really
that?
important to me.
Yeah. Do you miss that time of the old tape trading and bands putting out demos? So nowadays we're kind of like too spoilt with like so much technology going on. Like, and even bands don't even have to be in the same room anymore to make albums. It's like technology's kind of changed the whole face of metal in a way.
Yeah, it's good and it's bad, because it's good that you can do like you can remotely exchange ideas and riffs and sounds and songs, and so that you don't have to be in the same city or not even the same country. But the bad, of course, the bad side of things is that there are so many bands nowadays, and of course many bands are really professional and they are doing their stuff well. But what I don't see is really like how to say, like reasonable or cool or whatever, that the bands don't have to work so much. They're like they are putting out their like first songs in the YouTube or probably even on a CD, burned CD or whatever, and then they are like, okay, this is our first album, this is our first release. It's a fucking demo.
It's like
it's like it's too obvious for the bands to have their music released in a or music to be heard by some other people, whereas back then, like in the 90s, even you had to work like hell to get your stuff heard by radio.
There'd be flyers, wouldn't it, back in the day? Every time you sent something out, you'd bang a load of flyers in it, and you'd get people to share your flyers out.
Sending promo tapes to labels and magazines and but also I think it's if you just want, if you have good music and you really want to like make it your, not your living, but make it like important part of your life. It's a lot easier. Passion. It's a lot easier today if you want to put enough emphasis and passion into it. So, but sometimes it feels that the young bands are how would I say it politely? Like they are taking it too they're taking it too granted. That you know, you have now a song in YouTube. Why don't we have 500,000 listens or views or to a video? What the fuck? There are 500,000 other bands also.
Exactly. That is the thing. I always think about it. Back in the day when it was demo tapes and tape trading, when you got a tape, you listened to it like over and over again till you got another tape, didn't you? But nowadays you can fucking listen to like, you can go on 15 different band camps in a day and like stream whatever you want without buying anything half the time. So it's a lot harder in many respects.
Yeah, or just play some song in YouTube and YouTube recommend you another song. It's just
it's so easy to find stuff there.
It is really irritating.
Yeah. I got another question. Just to go generally on this, you say, has any author influenced you in any way? And what influences your lyrics? Do you like read newspaper articles or read stories? What kind of?
Well, to be honest, I don't read books.
No,
I back when I was a teenager and child, I read a lot. I like many kind of books, but for the last 20 years or something, I haven't had time to read anything except like the biographies of some famous musicians like Lemmy or whatever. But this is basic stuff. So no, I cannot say that any author has influenced me, because I haven't
You never
I haven't given them any possibility. but the thing that influences is like basically uh, of course the world that is around us and the people who are getting crazier and crazier and in many ways in the sense that how what kind of sick things they are ready to do to each other, and also what kind of what kind of things people are getting irritated and triggered by. So it's in a sense it's like a never-ending source of inspiration. What lurks in the minds of people, and how twisted people really can be, even if basically most of the people want to be nice to each other, but how small things can trigger their behavior to become a beast or whatever.
Yeah. Especially on the internet, when like chat rooms or anything like that, or just threads. Like, just go to any YouTube thread, and like just things escalate so quickly. Like, someone will say something seemingly innocuous, someone else will take like immense offense to it, or they just be going backwards and forwards, calling each other all sorts.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, so getting up to the hour mark now. I'll let you sort of what's coming up. What's coming up with you guys? What's happening? I mean, anything planned? Another EP or something like that next, or just gonna crack on with trying to promote this?
Well,
and
just hoping that the Corona shit is over, but I don't know. It seems that it's not over very soon. But because this band is a live band, we want to play live.
Yeah,
that's the main point. But like I said, we have already some new songs into making, so we are probably then just trying to concentrate on that side of things, and also some putting up some new merchandise and stuff like that to get some money to get some money
to sort of finance new recordings and stuff like that.
Because most important in this band is after all your money.
Yeah. Have you ever? This is a question because sometimes some of the people in the vinyl community on YouTube are always interested. Have you got anything out on vinyl? I know you did a 7-inch, didn't you? I think you had a split 7-inch at one point. But any of your albums on vinyl?
Yeah, the new album came also on vinyl.
It's on vinyl, is it? That's cool.
300 copies on the CD and also a cassette.
Right, cool. Cassettes always blow my mind because like cassettes is like old school and they weren't that great back in the day. So it's weird that cassettes have come back.
I haven't listened to a cassette in like many years, but that's some nice collectible thing, or because we can produce them quite easily and with a reasonable price with our friend who has he has a small cassette label, like a DIY type of thing. So he can produce like anything up to 20 copies.
Right.
It's a reasonable price. So we
have the options there. You might as well do it.
That's why we did cassette versions of the old albums also.
With like the live stuff, I mean, how many venues are there like where you are in Finland, and have any of them been affected by the loss of business? We had a few venues closed down or being threatened to close down. I mean, are there going to be places for you to play once it starts up again?
Well, I don't know. As I said, lots of venues are suffering, and we have read during the past like 6 months, we have read sad news about really like established venues going bankrupt or just closing down because they don't want to struggle. This is like the problem is that at least here in Finland, the government doesn't make that the decisions of the government are are causing the businesses like bars and restaurants and the live clubs and stuff just like hanging on a really loose rope. You know what I mean. They are not giving like exact strict orders that you should close down. They're like if they would say that you cannot do you cannot do anything, any events or public performances or concerts or festivals for the next year, then the many professionals on those businesses could have like stopped their business, started to study some other stuff or just to make something, start to do something else. Now they're just waiting in a really
limbo.
Like limbo, exactly. In limbo, just some businesses are barely getting by and they can manage, but some businesses are like really like it's impossible for them to continue in this situation. So
So we don't know what the future's going to hold, really.
Sorry.
So we don't know what the future's going to be because we still have no idea when it's all going to be finished.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
All right, I'll let you sign off then, mate. Whatever you want to say to everybody who's watched it, and hopefully people will watch it in the future as well. Just like give them your, I don't know, the Kurwa Doctor Cannibal Accident theory on life, the universe, and everything, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I just want to say that if you listen to our songs and like the songs, just support the bands in a way that is possible at this moment, because you cannot attend their shows or buy their merchandise at the shows. So just buy the albums, buy the like a digital version or T-shirts or underwear or whatever they are providing, or Corona masks.
Yeah. Have you got that Corona masks, or what's the craziest bit of merch you've got? Is there a Cannibal Accident dildo or anything like that?
Yeah, we should make a Corona mask with a hole in the middle. That's actually what I thought. It's like a fuck off to all this. I'm not in a denial of the Corona problem. This is just making me so fucking frustrated and getting tired of this situation. That
it does you fucking mentally. It does you mentally, doesn't it? And physically, all this fucking Corona shit. It's like, it's like I'm fucking walking around in a daze because it's like, fucking still at home again, still doing fuck all. Oh well. Anyway, cheers for coming on, mate, and good luck with the album, getting it out there, and talk to you maybe another time, sometime in the future, maybe like when you, I don't know, another EP or something like that out, or cheers for coming on.
Right. Thank you very much, Graham, and good luck with all your whatever you're doing in your life.
Cheers. Yeah, check out my podcast, everyone. My podcast link's down below as well. Got a new show up tomorrow. Make sure you tune into that, and see you later, everyone.